I'm live. Alright. Good connection, all that crap. Just relax. Yeah. YouTube.com. Let's get like a link and some shit. Yo channel. Videos. Live. Everyone. No, not at Silverchair, you bastard. At everyone. From the last stream on the YouTubes. Send out. Go, baby, go, baby, go. You can do it. I believe in you. Alright. Oh, let's see if anyone joins. Capture moments is happening. Yep, got you. So I do have a thing or two I want to talk about. Like, I wouldn't mind talking about sort of, I've sort of been, I don't know, I've sort of been feeling a bit, I need to change shit up, yeah? Like, I need to change things up a little bit. Like, I've been enjoying making, okay, fucking hear me out. I've been enjoying making the content I've been making and stuff. Like, it's been nice. And it's been nice having a place to sort of, yeah, just rant and rave about shit that annoys me, to be fair. But there's a significant downside that comes with that as well. And that downside would be the that glorious little thing that in order to talk about and make videos about some topics that are just like soul draining, I think is a good way to put it. Like, I need to look at those topics and I need to have my soul drained in order to then be able to cover them and talk about them. And I love doing it. Like, I love doing it at the same time because, like, especially when it comes to things like Elon Musk when he talked about autism and his little magic fucking brain chip. You know, I like having the opportunity to talk about stuff like that where it's like, you know, like something that's not necessarily being covered elsewhere. It is pretty much being buried elsewhere. Like, if we're being honest about that, the comments he made on that show, then, you know, it's kind of being buried everywhere. Which, you know, that's not good. Yeah, for what he said, that is definitely not a good thing that it's being fucking buried. But, like, having the ability to talk about, like, stuff like that and have people tune in and watch and all that sort of stuff, it's nice, you know. I get to raise awareness of things that are otherwise being buried, or I get to just talk. I don't know why that fucking, I don't know why you're saying that you are Post Malone, because you are definitely not Post Malone. That's definitely not Post Malone that's playing in the background. It's actually backing track by Eat Boss Fox. But you know, like I was saying, get to talk about certain things like that you know, not many people are aware of otherwise, and having the ability to you know, put that word out there. And granted, it's a very small audience right now, but you know, it's still it still blows me away that people actually tune in and just, you know, watch me talk about random shite for about 10 to 15 minutes. Or in the case of the most recent video, half an hour. Which, you know, I tried to trim that down and, like, take out anything that wasn't, like, take out as many sort of pauses and anything that wasn't, you know, necessarily, like, you know, make sure there was nothing really necessarily repeating itself or anything like that, but it still ended up being a half an hour video because I just ended up going on one. Because, like, I mean, that's sort of in a way why I'm streaming on YouTube today, sort of, which, I mean, we'll get into. We're definitely going to get into that. But, like, I don't know, it's nice, but at the same time, like, I feel like I need to mix it up, man, because, like, that's the thing with me is I'm not sure if it's like the autism or if it's just sort of who I am as like a person and whatnot, but like I feel like I need to change shit up every now and then. Like, you know, like once or twice a year I'll move around the entire fucking living room and put it, like, lay it out differently. Because otherwise I'll get bored of it and I'll get sick of it and it'll start bringing us down and shit like that. And I feel like I'm sort of like that with YouTube as well. But that's a problem when it comes to YouTube because, like, you know, the way the algorithm works is it's very much it likes it when you fit in a box. You know, it likes its little boxes so that it can you know, push out the content and whatnot. Which, I mean, I get they've got to, you know, they've got to categorize and all that so they can push out content and stuff, but it really, like, without starting, you know, fucking 3, 4, 5 channels, whatever, it really sort of limits you on how you... Sorry, I'm just absolutely botching making this fucking tab. It really limits you on sort of how, like, on what you can do, you know, because you've sort of, right, you've sort of got to decide, like, right, this channel is going to be this type of content, it's only going to be this type of content. Because if you don't, and, like, let's say, you know, I felt like, you know, playing some fucking, you know, recording some Mass Effect, right, some Legendary Edition or whatever. Like, by all means, yes, I could do that, and I could start uploading, you know, a Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough onto YouTube. But the problem with that is then YouTube would get confused and it would stop pushing the channel, or even worse, stop burying the channel because of the, like, switch in styles from, like, hey, you know, guys, here's the news thing we're talking about today, to, hey, guys, we're gonna shoot some Reapers today. Like, YouTube doesn't like it when you switch up very much. That's why I moved the vlogs over to their own channel. Is because I know I would be doing you know, content that wouldn't fit with the vlogs on the main channel, that being the news videos, obviously, and that trying to do both would confuse the algorithm. Channel goes nowhere, defeats the purpose. So it's fun like that, you know. Fucking cat just stalking on the desk there. Yes, guys. Hello. Hello there. What do you want? What would you like, child? I don't know. Ooh. But, like, I don't know, I get cravings every now and then, man, of, like, stuff I want to do. Like, I go through sort of phases of things that I want to do and things I want to get done and things that, you know, things I want to make especially, right? Like, sort of, I've got fucking sort of pissing about me out. Like, especially when it comes to things I make, like, because I'll be sitting there and, like, I've had ideas for videos and stuff. Like, most of my ideas mainly come to us at, like, fucking 3 in the morning and shit. Like, it's never at a opportune time. It's always when I'm going to bed. So, like, half the time I forget to, like, write them down in my phone or whatever. So I end up forgetting them. Which is another problem. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's one of those things of, like, I'll get that urge to be like, oh, you know, I just have a cool idea for a video. I should do that. Oh, wait. Can't do that because it wouldn't fit in with the rest of the channel and YouTube would bury it. It's like, or like, a big thing I always end up keep coming back to is, much like running servers, you know, I always seem to keep coming back to hosting and Devon servers and stuff like that. And I think I may have a fucking that singe part of my eyebrow or some shit. I think I may have singed part of my eyebrow. I don't know. Or it's just fucking like shape we had, which is also possible? I don't fucking know. Anyway, I don't know how I managed to send to that side because I never like a tab on that side, but like I'll always find myself sort of coming back to like wanting to do videos based around streaming and things like that because it's something I'm very fucking passionate about. Like I'm really passionate as well, obviously, about the sort of the news and what's going on in the world and things like that. And really, I just like giving me opinion on shit when no one really asks for it. But people seem to like the videos and stuff, so yeah, I can't complain. I can't complain all that much, you know. But like, I don't know. Like, I'd love to make videos about streaming. I'd love to make videos about maybe GTA, but like GTA, I know I don't have enough knowledge in like coding and stuff to be able to make like, you know, this is how you do this, you know, this is how you make it. Yeah, it would be very basic shit. Like this is how you modify the existing inventory script to add a shop, shit like that. And it's, I don't know. But I keep coming back to wanting to make like streaming videos and stuff, and videos about, you know, related to streaming products and tech and all that kind of stuff. Maybe throwing a little, you know, if I was doing streaming videos, I could like, if I was doing streaming videos, I could do reviews on like tech related to it and stuff, like this microphone or the Go XLR or, yeah, whatever the fuck. But like, I'm a very opinionated person as well, as you guys may have noticed. And like, being so opinionated and especially having views that, you know, my views tend to go against the grain. They tend to go against, you know, what is, you know, deemed acceptable in today's world due to the whole social justice movement and all that kind of stuff. No, that's not some of me beard right there, by the way. That's just a fucking grey hair, or white hair, I should say. Sorry, not grey. So yeah, for those that like, you guys watching this and gonna be like, you got something in your beard? No, I don't. Well, I mean, I do. It's just, it's white fucking hair. That's the thing, by the way. I'm going white. I'm gonna be fully white by the time I'm probably 35, 40, I would reckon, at this rate. Which, I mean, I'm not mad at, because, like, could be worse, yeah. I could be going bald like me fucking sperm donor, so I'm not really too mad at that one, I'll be real. I got me nana's hair, quite luckily, which means it's very naturally curly. Like not so much at the minute. Like, I mean, you can sort of see it on the sides there, but mainly goes the most curly when my hair's a bit greasy. But like, I don't know, man. I get that, like, especially now, right? Like, it sounds mad, but sort of the last sort of year or so, especially, where it's coming up to 25 and turned 25 yesterday, actually, funny enough. I've sort of been thinking a lot more about sort of putting shit in place for the future than I used to think about. Like, it used to be a case of sort of just, you know, go with the flow and see what happens. But, like, it's sort of been on my mind a lot more to try and save more money, to put money into investments and stocks and, you know, shit like that. And like, it's just one of those things where it's been on my mind a lot more the last sort of year coming up to 25, because like, it's sort of, I want to say necessary. Okay. Oh, I had air in my mouth. Oh, that tickled me fucking tonsils, that one did. Oh, perks of having long hair. But like, it sort of clicked in my head a lot more of like, you know, you're not exactly getting any fucking younger. I need to start thinking a bit more about sort of the future and things like that. And sort of how I can set myself up for the future to make sure that like that I don't like as much as I love me nana, like to make sure that I don't end up in a case where I'm just surviving off like government pension and fucking which I mean at this point I don't even have any sort of pension, but like so just surviving off a pension, living in an old folks home, like that's not what I want. Like I want to, the shit I want to do in life, like I want to, I'd fucking love not only to own my own home, because it's something that me mom, me nana, I don't think they've ever, well, I know me mom's never, but like I don't think me nana's ever owned their own home, or I don't know about me nana's parents, but like so stuff like that, like I'd love to be able to like buy my own home. Well, actually, I'd love to build my own home, preferably, and make it big enough so that that my mom can move in when she's not able to live by herself anymore. Which that day'll come because of her fibromyalgia. My mom's got fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, and these are conditions that are never going to get any better. Like the lifelong conditions that are never really going to improve at all, and like it's one of those things of like I'd love to be in that position where I can just go, oh, okay, I've got me I've got my own home, it's got enough space, yeah, come on, fucking move in, all that, and be able to look after her and shit when she does get to a stage, which hopefully for her sake more than anything, because she's still only in her 40s, that it'll be a thing, like, because it's something that's going to have to happen eventually, and like preferably as well I'd like to do that while me nana's still alive, and show me nana like your grandson made something of himself, because like the majority of my family are well, they're arseholes, pretty much. One of me nana's sons, my uncles, hasn't spoke to me nana in 25 years. Hasn't spoke to her since the day I was born. Because of all reasons, my ma wouldn't let his girlfriend of the time be in the room to see me be born, because my ma wanted someone else there. So my family isn't exactly known for being, upstanding people, and the sure as hell are never gonna, have like a fancy place and all this, and yeah, like, yeah, part of us wants to do it for the sake of, just like, yeah, have a, I've got myself a really nice place and all this, and hey, look at me, I fucking made it. And then the other part of us is like, well, I want to do some of that no one else in my family ever has, like I want to be that example of like, sort of, you can come from fuck all, you can have the deck stacked against you in God knows how many ways, like, I mean, me autism, me anger issues, me fucking just absolutely messed up childhood, in many ways it was messed up. And you can come out of all that with little to no prospects, and then still turn it into something good, turn it into something that no one would expect. Like, I mean, I think I've came through all that like pretty fucking well, all things considered. Like, especially the last 10 years or more. Things have never really been easy, but the last sort of 10 years or so have been incredibly difficult. Me had a fucking incredibly rough breakup with someone who not only tried to say that I would abuse her, but also tried to get us arrested multiple times. One of the times actually getting me arrested. And like, then because of all that, I dived down into like the alcohol and drug use and things like that, and I ended up becoming an alcoholic, and thankfully up until this, I've been sober for a couple of months now. Been sober since April. I've been sober since the beginning of the year, but I had a relapse or two, unfortunately. But thankfully, since April, I've had no drinks up until now. I haven't touched a bottle of booze since April. Fucking touch wood and all that. I've like midpoint of April, I think it was roughly. I've had actually, the beginning of April, I think. I've had no drinks, no alcohol since, and part of it in a way is for sort of me. Like, there's part of me that wants to prove sort of to myself that like it's possible. Like you'll see all these big all these big YouTubers and things like that, that'll say, I came from nothing and I built this all by myself and yada yada, and like there's part of you that'll always, like, at least for me, that'll always be like that sort of, wait, did you really though? Or like sort of, wait, is it, yes, you managed it, but is it still possible now? Like, is it still a feat that can actually happen now? With YouTube being dominated by, your late night talk show hosts and things like that. And like, I wanted that originally to be through streaming. Yeah, I mean, I've been live streaming since I was 13, I think. Back when all I was using was an incredibly shitty laptop, which I think I've actually got in a bag over there. Like, if I right, yeah. This is what I originally started live streaming on. This incredibly old, as you can see, being taken apart a couple of times, laptop. I mean, this thing is just fucking wrecked at this point, like, it really is. But, to, like, I've managed to turn that into having, a setup that's worth, a couple of grand. I've got a fucking, like 300-400 quid XLR. I've got fucking, Ryzen 3700X. I've got 32 gigs of RAM in my system. I've got fucking 1080 graphics card. I've got a home server there that's got a Ryzen 3 in it and a 1060 and 16 gigs of RAM in that, and I've got a steering wheel setup over there that's worth a couple £100, probably a lot more now actually, because them ones aren't even made anymore, and they're one of the most like sort of well respected steering wheel setups of all that exists in like simulating and stuff like that. I've got the Hortus setup, which was a couple £100. I've managed to put together a setup that, going back to when I was streaming off that old laptop, I never thought I would have been able to make. I mean, truth be told, I truly never actually expected to make it to 25, like, especially when I was like, 18 or so, and I was going through quite a bit mentally and stuff, and I was, abusing alcohol. I never really expected to make it this far, and it's got us thinking, especially like I say with my birthday being yesterday and whatnot, like, and turning 25 and that, like, I need to make it count. I need to do something that makes all of the bullshit, all of me past, not just something that happened, but something that shapes me into a better person. Like, I'm as much as I'm an opinionated prick, I'm always trying to sort of be better. I always try and look at things like for both sides and see both sides of like a situation or an argument or whatever. And like I try and be a bit better every day at that of looking at things from both sides and seeing, or at least trying to see where sort of all sides are coming from. And like, you know, I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday of that I've known for well over 5 years of you know, sort of how far I've come since they knew us. Because I mean, they've knew me since I was a teenage. This dude's knew me since I was a teenager, and like some of the shit that I did and the way that I acted and stuff back there, I look back on now and I fucking cringe. I was a right little cunt. And like looking to sort of how I am now and stuff like that, it's very nice to be able to see that change. And I think one of the things that I need to do at some point is sit down and like figure out what I'm gonna do content wise, because as much as I like doing this sort of these news videos and things like that, it's one of those things that, you know, I need to start acting the part a lot more in terms of the social atmosphere at the minute, because a lot of the opinions that I do hold would, you know, get me cancelled, right? They'd get us cancelled and banned from fucking Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and probably a million other platforms at this point, because if your opinions, especially these days, don't align with the majority, then you're considered to be like, you know, a bad person. You're considered to be, you know, ableist or homophobic or this or that, or, you know, and it's not, you know, that's not sustainable. It's really not. It like, I don't want to be one of those people that like, yeah, like I don't want to be one of those people that ends up getting cancelled. Like not necessarily because I think that anything I've said or do say is necessarily worthy of being cancelled, but more of just like, I don't want the mark I leave on YouTube, on streaming, on whatever the case may be, the mark I leave on life to be something that, you know, people look back on and go, oh, but he had some fucked up opinions though. Like, yeah, I don't, you know, when the day comes that I do, you know, shuffle off this mortal coil, I want it to be something that is, you know, that someone, I want whatever I do in life to be something that people can look back on and go, you know what, you made some good content. You know, you made us laugh a couple of times. You know, you brought some joy to a otherwise, you know, shitty world. But even if it's just 10 people, or even if it's just one person, you know, when I'm gone, for someone to look back look back and remember us and be like, you know, yeah, that was a good dude. Yeah, did some cool things. He made us laugh. You know, whatever. Like, that'd be awesome. You know, because like, all we are at the end of the day, once we are gone, is the memories that live on in other people's minds. You know, we're and that's sort of something that sort of dawned on us when Cat 6 fell apart. Me 5M community I was running, because I blew that up because of me drinking. You know, and like, there's people that will only ever remember who I was then. You know, there's people that will purely and only remember me for what I said or how I acted, or for the fact I was drunk like more than half the time I was on the server, and they won't remember the 5 fact that I was, getting up at 9 in the morning, live streaming, working on the server all day till about 6 o'clock at night. I'd sit down and have some food on stream, and I'd be live streaming, playing on the server until 3, 4, 5 in the morning. At which point I'd go to bed. I'd get up and do it again, and a lot of the time as well, that then ended up with me doing that exact same thing, except now I was drinking every other day, or sometimes every day, just to try and cope with how much I was doing, and as a result, I ended up acting like a right fucking turd. And there'll be people that will only remember me for acting like that. There'll be people that only remember me for being drunk all the time when I was on the fucking server, And that's not what I want, that's not what I want me legacy, if you will, to be. I want people to remember the good shit, the good times, like, if the day comes and I'm not here anymore and someone thinks back to us, I want them to remember, like, a good roleplay story they had with us, or like a great interaction they had on a roleplay server with us, or something like that, or maybe I informed you guys about something, or showed you how to do a thing, or maybe one day, if I get big enough, it'll be a case of someone remembering us for getting them into streaming and into YouTube and things like that. That is the goal in a way. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, I want to, it'd be nice to have a lot of money and have a big fancy house that I've designed and had built just for me and all that. Like, that'd be really nice, but that's not the end goal, like, I mean, the money in a way is an end goal, so that I can, like I say, build a nice house, I can have a nice car, I can, in a lot of ways have shit that I've never had otherwise. I just realised my speakers were still on. That I've never had and, will never realistically get otherwise. Like, YouTube is probably one of, if not the only shot at achieving those goals that I'll ever have. And the ability to make that happen would be incredible for us, like, and as well, part of that as well is with like, maybe Mum have always struggled with money. Like, it's always been, a top concern. I mean, we've never struggled enough where it's like, okay, we're not eating today, thankfully. We've never had like, we're power shut off or anything like that, thankfully. Rebel. We're quite lucky on that front. But like, it's always a topic that's been there, like, in the back of our heads of, like, like my ma, a great fucking example, when I was a kid, my ma would get a loan from the government once a year just to make sure that she could get us some birthday presents or a Christmas present or whatnot. She'd take out 1 or 2 loans a year with the government, because they were interest free, thankfully, so that she could buy presents for us for birthdays and for Christmas and stuff. And like, I don't ever want to be in that position. Like, I want to be in a position where, I could see a thing like a new Lego set, for instance, and be like, okay, I'm gonna buy that, rather than, okay, how many months is this going to take us to save so I can get the 400 or 500 quid or whatever to buy this Lego set, or a graphics card or something like that. A new graphics card comes out, I want to be able to just, it'd be nice to have that money where I can just go out and just buy it, or like, or hell, even better, just the ability to clear me debt, like the ability of, like, just fucking one day just go, right, that's it, I'm debt free, I don't have any fucking debt. Because I was an idiot when I was a kid, and when I was 18, and I took out some phone contracts, and I bumped the phone contracts and stuff, and I've ended up in a lot of debt because of it. And it'd be nice to be able to clear that. But in order to do that, I think it's going to take me switching my content up and sort of doing it, and sort of going to something that is a bit more advertiser friendly and a bit more sort of, evergreen in a way. I don't think covering news topics and stuff, especially some of the stuff I have been covering, like the whole Twitch ASMR meta thing at the minute. I don't think it's necessarily gonna be the best long term for that, because that type of content is going to scare away advertisers, which means less sponsorships. It's it's really good content to talk about, and I love talking about it and sharing my opinion on stuff like that. But with the current climate of the world, that with especially online, it's not very realistic or very smart to bank my future on that. I wish it was. I wish it was sort of a genre that I could sort of bank my future on and sort of cover that and have that as a thing. But it's not really something that I feel is possible. At least for me, because like I say, my opinions tend to go very much against the grain. And yeah, this is probably my last, best, and only hope at making my life into what I want it to be, into what I dreamed about when I was fucking 13 and streaming off that fucking shitty beat up laptop. Was get big one day, get a million subscribers on YouTube, get enough money to clear off my debt, get enough money so that I never have to worry about money again, so I've always got money in the bank. That'd be fucking nice. Get enough money where I can build the house of me dreams, just buy a nice plot of land, put a house smack bang in the fucking center of it, and have a couple acres between fucking me house and each side of the fence. That'd be that. That's the goal one day, and I think that is going to need to happen with a different style of content. And I also I think as well, for sort of my own sanity more than anything else, I'm gonna need to stop streaming, at least on Twitch, because what Twitch is sort of turned into, and what Twitch is allowing is it's not something that I can sit by and watch anymore. I really... because it's one of those things of it's gonna scare away streamers, because a lot of women streamers at the minute, but ever since this hot tub thing started kicking off, have been getting the question of, well, when are you going to do the hot tubs? And now it's turned into, well, when are you going to do the ASMR thing? And, that's not fair to female streamers. It's really fucking not. And then you've got the fact that these types of streams are being targeted at people who, of an age group who realistically shouldn't be seeing these type of streams. Sorry. They really shouldn't be seeing this type of stream. And this is all happening on a platform that shouldn't be used for these types of streams. And that's going to end up scaring away advertisers as well, which, at that point, that's bad for Twitch as a whole. This kind of content at the minute is very, very bad for Twitch as a whole. And you've got Twitch sort of just sitting there, not really wanting to take a side either way. And it's not good, and especially seeing this sort of stuff just continue on and on and on, and Twitch sort of just not really wanting to pick a side because they don't want to piss off anyone either way. It's not good, man, because like I do think about sort of who watches my content and things like that. Like you know, I very purposefully aim my content towards adults. I very purposefully started putting 18 plus in my title, even though my stream has always been marked for mature audiences, because like who I am as a person and sort of how much I swear and things like that, it's not really necessarily suitable for children. But then you've got obviously these hot tub streams and these ASMR streams and the tactics that they're pulling, and they're now like Twitch hasn't even done so much as like put a mature content filter on them, and like that's all they'd realistically have to do as well is just put a fucking extra warning, you know, and like at least then they would be doing something. And yes, Alinity and not Alinity, I think it's fucking Amaranth and Indie Fox are currently banned off Twitch for, well, most likely just be a 3-day ban at most, and then they'll be back doing the same thing, just slightly tweaked so that they're slightly more in the guidelines. And like, I mean, that's not right. Like, as well, the amount of times that these lasses have been banned for breaking the guidelines and breaking the TOS and things like that. If that was a bloke, they'd be gone. If that was a bloke, they'd be gone from the platform entirely. They wouldn't be allowed back. But because they're a lass, and because they're bringing a lot of money for Twitch, and because of the current political climate online, Twitch don't want to do anything about it, anything substantial anyway, because like if they really did, they would have done something, but they don't want the backlash of it. Because if you like, I'm sure there's a ton of comments online already. I haven't even bothered looking. I'm sure there's a ton of comments about how Twitch is purposefully targeting lasses and all that, and they did nothing wrong, and yada 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 with these recent bans. I can pretty much guarantee it, right? And it's sad to see, man. It's sad to watch, and it's sad to see a website that, you know, was praised as uplifting gaming, and showing that, you know, gaming could be something that, yes, you can do it as a job. It's something that you can do as a job, and it's something that, you know, they sort of like, were already sort of knew in a way from YouTube that, you know, you could turn gaming into a job. They had already started legitimizing it, but Twitch, growing to the heights that it did, legitimized it way more. And like, you know, to a point where you could say to someone in the street, like, you know, oh yeah, I'm a Twitch streamer, I'm you know, that is my job, and people would actually know what that was and know, okay, yeah, that's a valid fucking job. Like, that's huge. That's fucking huge. That changed the landscape of the internet in a lot of ways. Like, a lot of people forget that sort of thing and forget just how influential Twitch has been. And to see that website now being known for people like Amaranth and Indie Fox fucking farting into a plastic ear, or fucking licking a plastic ear if someone donates enough, like, that's so fucking sad. It is so depressing to see. And like, you know, I mean, the last good sort of gaming platform we had for streaming the last couple of years was Mixer, and before that Beam, which later turned into Mixer. And Beam's gone now. Mixer's gone. You know, it ain't a thing anymore. Microsoft killed it. You know, I mean, hell, they didn't just kill it; they danced on the grave. But like, Facebook's getting there. They're doing a lot of good things. Funny enough, Facebook is doing a lot of good things for gaming. But yet the revenue split that is, 100% going to the creator until 2023. Be it them trying to work with record labels so that partnered streamers can play copyrighted music on streams instead of having to go and fucking hunt out copyright safe music that in a lot of cases streamers might not necessarily even like all that much. Like, I mean, especially if you're someone like myself or yourself, Rebel, who, we're very much heavy metal guys. We're into heavy metal, rock, pop, sort of punk music, I should say. Sorry, like, there's not that much out there for people like us. A lot of it is chiptune and dubstep and drum and bass and lo-fi and all that sort of stuff. And like, I get why, because there's a lot more sort of lo-fi samples out there that are safe to use in making music than there is like heavy metal and stuff. But it's such a sad thing that, like, it's such a terrible thing, and Facebook are doing such a good job of that. We're trying to work with the record labels and stuff. Whereas you look at Twitch Soundtrack, and they've got performative licenses for the music, which means that people could live stream them, but they hadn't bothered to get the rest of the licenses so that people could have them in the VODs. Because what was happening is people were using Twitch Soundtrack to live stream, and then because they were using Twitch Soundtrack, they thought they were safe, so all the music was going through to the VODs as well, and then we're getting copyright strikes to the point that Twitch had to rush to implement a way for streamers to basically stream a second audio channel or a second audio source to Twitch is a VOD only channel that would then be used specifically for the VODs, which you could take the music out of. Like, that is not a good thing. That is a very bad thing. that shouldn't have needed to happen. And then there's the Twitch wiping out everyone's clips, but just as a precautionary measure, just going, you know what, just in case you've got any music in it, we're just going to delete everyone's clips. Like, that's a rush move, and that's a bad move. And I mean, it's like, I don't know where I might end up streaming. I really don't, because like, YouTube might be the place I end up going, because I will say as well, actually, they've cleaned up the like live streaming back end quite a bit. It looks a lot nicer now. Like, if I show you guys this real quick, yep. Yeah, they've cleaned it up quite a bit, and it's quite nice. It looks a lot nicer now. But like, to sort of, like, I don't know, man. I need to start. I think I'm gonna start taking down a lot of the news videos and cleaning up the back end of my YouTube and stuff, and sort of moving more towards, I think, making videos about streaming and tech related stuff, because like, I need to do something. I need to do something to push forward into start making an actual positive change in my life, in terms of, money coming in and things like that. Because as much as, it's sort of taboo to talk about money, and as much as I genuinely kind of hate doing it, it is a thing, because like, I'm on benefits right now, and like, I will be forever grateful to the UK for the benefits system we used to have. It's getting worse and worse over time because, Tories, but I will be forever grateful for the fact that I have been on benefits for so long, and being able to still live by myself and still experience life by myself. But but I don't want to be on benefits for the rest of my life. You know, I there's not many jobs I can work because of my autism and stuff, because I'm terrible with people. I'm terrible with people, especially in person. Like, I'm fine online and stuff like that, because, you know, if I'm feeling overwhelmed and stuff online, I can just close the tab. I can just end the stream. I can just, you know, close Discord for a bit or whatever. Whereas if I'm at work, if I'm at a job or whatever the fuck, you know, and I'm feeling overwhelmed and shit, I can't just up and leave, you know? And I don't want to be one of those people that's just on benefits for life and relying on, you know, social welfare for the rest of my days. Because for one, that's a terrible fucking way to live. Like, that's a terrible fucking way to live. And as well, like, I just don't want to, it's not who I am as a fucking person, you know? And let alone the fact that, you know, if I ever want to so much as own a home, let alone build one for myself, I'm never going to be able to do that on benefits. I'm really not. And, you know, like, I don't want to be renting for life. I'd like to be able to own my own home and go, yeah, that big fuck off thing right there, I bought that. I earned that. I made the money to be able to buy that. And, you know, I need to, like, I've tried the news thing. All it's made us do is lose subscribers. So as much as I like doing it, it's not something I'm going to be able to do. You know, I've thought about maybe going back to me radio roots. Because for those of you that don't know, I used to do a radio show on a website called Frag Radio, which is now dead and buried. Because the guy who used to run the guy who used to design all the back end and stuff and kept it all running, passed away. Rather young, rest in peace to Andy. And the owner of the site just never really gave much of a toss anyway. But due to sort of the changes that have been happening with DMCA and stuff like that, that's no longer really an option to start off and to build from nothing anymore. So I you know, it's one of those fucking things. I'm gonna have to sit down and figure out, like, you know, what exactly do I want to be my bread and butter, and I'm leaning more and more and more towards sort of talking about live streaming and stuff like that, because it accomplishes a few things. For one, I'm quite passionate about live streaming. Like I say, I've been live streaming since I was about 13, and as well, I like helping people. You know, like anything I've ever made for sort of script wise or anything like that on like 5M and stuff has always been a case of if someone's asked us for it, I've been like, yeah, there you go. You know, if someone's asked us for, you know, how do I do a thing? Oh, there you go. You know, I think there's only like one time in the last fucking 4 years, 3 years, whatever, that I've been running servers that I've like turned someone down when it came to helping them. And that's only because they'd royally pissed us off. Like, so it accomplishes a lot of goals, and it's also, you know, the education sector on YouTube is rather profitable as well, which, you know, I mean, like, I want to make this clear, guys. It's never going to be the main reason I do something. Like, I have never done something just for the money of it, you know. Like, I mean, hell, if I was only doing things for the money, I would have gave up live streaming a long time ago. I'd have stopped live streaming years ago. But I don't. I do it because I like it and because it's fun. But it's got to that point in life where it's sort of, at least for me anyway, it sort of needs to be in part about the money. Like, it just needs to be a little bit about the money so that I could, you know, because I need to focus on something that does have a real, actual chance of, like, getting me some income. And, you know, as of everything I've seen with the news content that I've been doing, that ain't it. That ain't it, boss. Which is fine, you know. That's fine at the end of the day. Like, it doesn't have to be, because I'm fine to try shit out and see what works and see what doesn't. Like, the gaming videos did a little bit, but I just don't have I don't have the chops to sit there and talk for, hours on end about basically nothing and still have something to talk about when it comes to gameplay vids and things like that. So I don't think that's ever going to be me thing either. But I need to start focusing on something that does have a real shot at bringing in money, because the older I get, the harder it's going to be. The older I get, the harder it's going to be to learn things. The older I get, the harder it's going to be to to start something like this. I'm very fortunate in a way that I am only 25, because things do get harder to sort of start off and to get going and things as you get older. It's just a fact of fucking life, and yeah, I'm gonna need to start thinking about that, because otherwise I'm never gonna get anywhere. And I don't just want to keep circling the drain for years on end doing the same thing over and over and over again, because I tried that with streaming. That didn't fucking work. So it's one of those things, And like, I'm still going to be developing the FiveM server and stuff like that and running the FiveM server, but that's never going to be something, at least not for a long time, where I would be able to sit and record videos on it and stuff like that, because I just don't have the coding knowledge for that. And I'd love to be the type to be able to, sell like MLO maps and things like that, or scripts or whatever, but I don't think that's ever going to be me either. And like, it's something I want to learn, don't get me wrong, but I just don't see it ever being my main thing. Because like, thing is as well is that relying on sort of something like that would be stupid, because it would, like, it's not really sort of something that's gonna last forever, you know what I mean? Like, it's that, like, roleplay games have a certain shelf life, with Assault Warhammer 2, with Assault Warhammer 3, and we'll see it with GTA. And with FiveM, it's one of those things of eventually time will come, because it'll either be a different game that comes out that people want to roleplay in, or a better multiplayer model come out for a different game or something like that. Like, it's one of those things. Like Arma 4 is in development. I'm quite interested to see how that is gonna change up the RP game, if it does. Like, because Arma 3 was notoriously massive for roleplay for the longest time. You've got Garry's Mod, which I haven't heard about people playing Garry's Mod roleplay in a long time. Arma 3 roleplay, like, yes, still people still play it, but it's nowhere near what it once was. And GTA is going to get to that point as well. And it's just one of them things. But I'm thinking that chances are the future of this channel is going to be sort of stream related. And when it comes to me actually live streaming and playing games and streaming the server dev and stuff like that I do, I'm not sure if that'll happen on YouTube or if that'll happen on Facebook, but right now I don't see it being Twitch, because I like Twitch, but with the way it's going, the decisions I've been making and all that, I just don't think it's the platform for me anymore. And you've got to sort of make that call of like, where do you lie on shit? Because, like, yes, Twitch, at least for now, is the biggest gaming platform out there in terms of live streaming, but the decisions they've made and they've been making, and the decisions they keep making, I can't see, like, I can't justify their decisions with the morals that I set for myself. Like, at the end of the day, we've all, right or wrong or whatever anyone else thinks, we've all got our own personal code that we live to. You know, we've all got our own set of morals that we try and live by, that we try and embrace, and that we try and put forward into the world. And what Twitch has been doing the last year or so, it just, I can't get the two to align. Like, I really can't, especially with this ASMR shit. Which I'll say bravo to Twitch for, you know, banning them, but it's not going to do anything because they'll just come back more popular than they were before they were banned. It's just a show of a look. See, we're trying to do something, and that's not, you know, it's not all that great. I'll be real. So I think, like, just for my own sanity more than anything else, I need to distance myself from Twitch, because, like, I just can't align the two, man. Like, I can't align the sort of morals and things like that I try and uphold for myself with how Twitch has been acting. Like, I just can't do it. And it sucks because, you know, biggest fucking live stream platform in the world for gaming. But I need to do what feels right for me and what is right for me. And right now that isn't being on Twitch. It really isn't, because it's just, man, I just can't, man. Like, I just can't anymore. It is literally that simple of just, I can't. Because I am sick of sitting here and, like, wanting to start up stream and sort of second guessing myself as to whether or not I actually want to stream today. Because, like, I'll go to bed and I'll be excited to get up and work on the server and stuff, which, you know, whenever I work on the server, I live stream it, right? It helps keep a little bit of the boredom away that comes with doing so much repetitive shit. But, like, I've found myself recently, ever since this hot tub thing kicked off, like, sort of just sitting second guessing, like, do I want to live stream today? You know, do I actually want to bother live streaming? Can I be bothered hitting that fucking start button to go live? And it's, yeah, it's one of them things, man. And like, as well, I'd love to, like, dual stream or something and be like, you know, I'll go live on Twitch and YouTube, or Twitch and Facebook, and, you know, maybe start growing them. But I can't, because I'm in an affiliate contract, which means I am, or my streams are locked to, whatever I stream to Twitch is locked to Twitch for 24 hours. I can't stream it elsewhere. So it's one of those fucking things. And, like, YouTube's got its issues as well. Like, don't get me wrong, it's got its fucking issues, but I just need to try something else, anything fucking else at this point. And, like, yeah, I'm just sick of it, man. I really am. And like I say as well, I just need to start moving in a more business oriented mindset, because, like, I've for the longest time I've sort of, like, just done what I wanted to do because, like, well, I'm having fun with it, which, yes, that's important, but I need to start refactoring a bit more to, yes, it's fun, but this also has an actual shot of going somewhere, rather than just, like I say, a fucking case of, like, just fuck it. Yeah, like, it's one of them things. And yeah, but I'm probably gonna stop rambling here anyway, because I've been rambling for about fucking hour, just random shit. So you know, thank you guys that watched and whatnot. Yes, content is changing. Yes, it's scary, but, you know, if I don't try it, I'll never know if it'll go anywhere. But that being said, yeah, anyone that ends up watching the VOD of this and ends up making it at this point, fucking hell, congrats. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this and this little peek into me head. And I will probably end up being live on YouTube more in the future. So, you know, catch you guys then. If I hit the actual fucking button instead of the spacer.